I should have seen the red flags the moment Karen, my future mother-in-law, insisted on being involved in every wedding decision the second David proposed. She bragged about planning 3 perfect weddings for her daughters, glossing over the fact that 2 ended in nasty divorces, and the third was already in counseling. But I wanted peace, so I let her help. The sabotage started small. She called the florist and changed my soft blush palette to hot pink without asking, then gaslit me when I found out. Oh, honey, I thought you said hot pink. I was just trying to help your vision. Then she called the caterer and told them I'd gone vegetarian after watching some documentary and would be mortified if there was meat at my wedding. The entire menu was silently switched to overpriced quinoa and tofu until I fixed it myself. Strike 3. She gave the DJ a totally different playlist. Her favorite country songs. Replacing the list, David and I spent weeks building around our memories. When the DJ mentioned my change of heart and religious grandmother, I knew it was deliberate. My grandmother is dead, and she loved pop music. David finally confronted her, but Karen cried, played the victim, and claimed she was just trying to help her overwhelmed future daughter-in-law. He begged me to give her one more chance. I did. But I also secretly hired a professional coordinator, Emma, who locked vendors behind passwords and set herself as the only secondary contact. Even that didn't stop Karen. Days before the wedding, she called the venue pretending to be my mother, claimed I was having anxiety attacks about the weather, and moved the ceremony indoors for my mental health, despite a perfect forecast. While untangling that mess, I discovered something worse. Karen had been telling people she was my official wedding planner, using my event as her debut portfolio. She had business cards. Karen Mitchell, premier wedding consultant, creating dream celebrations for over 20 years. She'd been handing them out at church, book club, the grocery store, posting on Facebook about her big wedding project, and framing me as a helpless, unstable bride she had to rescue. When I dug deeper, David's sisters and cousins admitted she'd done this for years, charging neighbors for planning services that were just forwarded Pinterest links, taking credit for baby showers and parties she barely touched, and using other people's photos as her work. The night before the wedding, I overheard her on the phone in my living room. Yes, I planned everything myself. Poor girl can't handle the pressure. But after this wedding, my business is really going to take off. That was it. I stayed up all night gathering evidence, screenshots of her posts, photos of her business cards, recordings of her bragging, logs of every unauthorized change. Emma pulled vendor records showing how many times Karen had lied, impersonated me, or claimed to be the official planner. We looped in David's siblings and a few relatives in a group chat. They sent proof of her scams, too. Then we planned the show. On the wedding morning, Karen was at the venue at 7 a.m., dressed like a peacock, barking orders at vendors like she ran the place. I walked up with my phone recording and a live stream already rolling to family and close friends. "Everyone," I said sweetly to the camera, "this is Karen, my future mother-in-law. She's been telling people she planned my entire wedding." I held up her business card to the lens. Her smile faltered. I calmly listed each mistake she'd made. The flowers, the menu, the playlist, the fake indoor switch, the stories about my supposed breakdowns. Emma stepped in with a folder. 14 unauthorized vendor changes, multiple instances of impersonation, and proof Karen had called herself my official planner. The live chat exploded. David's sisters chimed in with their own receipts. Screenshots of Karen claiming credit for their events, charging their friends for consulting, and using their photos online. His cousin mentioned the neighbor she scammed. His brother confirmed she'd taken money for doing almost nothing at an anniversary party. Karen tried to grab my phone and hissed that I was ruining everything. David arrived midstream, having watched from the groom's suite, and simply asked, "Mom, is this true?" Surrounded by cameras, family, and vendors who'd all been lied to, she had nowhere to go. She mumbled something about just wanting to help, but no one was buying it. I told the stream clearly, Karen is not a planner. She has no training, no experience, and has been building a fake business on other people's hard work. I pointed to the 2 security guards I'd hired. She'll be sitting quietly in the back row today. If she interferes again, she'll be escorted out. For once, she shut up and sat down. The wedding itself was perfect. My flowers, our menu, our playlist, the outdoor ceremony I'd dreamed of. During the reception, I thanked Emma and the vendors publicly for sticking with me through the sabotage, and I made a pointed remark about how marriage is built on honesty and respect, not stolen credit. The room erupted in applause. Even David's father clapped and shook his head at his wife. While we were on our honeymoon, the live stream went semi-viral in local circles. Karen's fake business was shredded in neighborhood groups and church chats. People she'd charged started asking for refunds or threatening small claims court. She quietly deleted her social media and disappeared from any mention of event planning. Months later, she attempted a half apology. I may have gotten a little carried away, but I just wanted it to be perfect. I told her calmly that what she'd done wasn't helping. It was fraud and sabotage. She didn't argue. She just stopped. Now, whenever anyone in the family plans an event, they explicitly say, "Karen, please don't worry about helping. We've got it." She sits, smiles weakly, and stays out of the way. Everyone in town still remembers her as the woman who tried to steal her daughter-in-law's wedding and got exposed live. Our marriage started with that line in the sand, my work, my voice, my boundaries. And I learned something I'll never forget. Sometimes the best revenge is simply shining a very bright light on the truth.